Bam. Alright. We just need music now. Need music, and I probably should have taken medicine first. Ooh. Whoops. Alright, countdown time. Gotta get music, man. I gotta get music. Where's the music? I should have done this before. Damn. I think we're live now, though. Yeah, we should be. What's up, guys? Okay. So, explanation. Very quick. 2 weeks ago, I got my wisdom teeth pulled out on Thursday. Right? And then, Friday was episode, 30? Because last week's was 31, and then today's was 32. Yeah. So, episode 30 came out, and I had literally just gotten my wisdom teeth pulled out. Which, by the way, recovering from that was not fun. I think that should be loud enough. Not too loud. Recovering from that was not fun. It was very strenuous and bad and tiring. Very not cool. Very not cool. Very not cool. And then last week, I'm still in recovery right now. Like, I actually have really bad pain in my jaw as I speak. Because it just happens, your jaw hurts, your teeth hurt. It's not fun. But I had to get it done with anyways. You gotta get that type of stuff out of the way, Actually, wait. I can... properties. The filters. Yeah, I'm gonna lower the gain a little bit. That should be good. Because I'm, peaking. I don't want to peak. There we go. But, yeah. So, that happened. And then there was just some other stuff going on also, so I was kind of not really working on stuff to say, and I was stuck in bed for a whole ass week and a half. I literally couldn't leave my house. I couldn't leave my bed. I was just stuck there watching people stream all day. It was not fun. It was pretty ass, but we're here today, and fellas, okay, so the last couple JoJo episodes have been really good. The last time I streamed was the Abacchio death episode. And then they immediately started Green Day and Oasis, and that was when I had to get my teeth pulled. And I didn't stream. But here we are now, and I just watched episode 31, which was last week's episode with the 7-page Muda. And then I also watched, just watched today's episode, which was 32. So, we're going to start off talking about episode 31. There's a shit ton of screenshots that I got from across all these episodes. You can see Secco dying here. Shout out to Secco. But man, actually shout out to Secco though, real talk, because episode 31 was pretty much the Cioccolata primary episode, because it was more so focusing on that part of the fight. It did start off with Secco popping off on Bruno and, demonstrating just exactly how fast and how strong he is with Oasis. Secco popped off, okay? He did pretty good. It was pretty cool, and I've not really mentioned this before, but I do really like Secco's stand. I think Oasis is pretty cool. In concept, both Oasis and Green Day are very cool stands. Although their characters are extremely weird, and I mean extremely weird. These guys are fucking freaks, dude. But they're cool. I like their stand abilities a lot, and so I never really cared much about this fight. I never thought anything extraordinary of it. I never thought it was bad or anything. But when I first read this fight, it was with the really bad scans, the absolutely atrocious, terrible shit scans that were out a bajillion years ago. That was all we had. We didn't have anything else. And they were still coloring, or not coloring, but they were still getting the colored scans and the newer scans and stuff, and the black and white ones. Those weren't all the new stuff that you guys would have now if you were to look up Vento Aureo and go on the JoJo color team page or whatever. We didn't have any of that shit. It was terrible. So it was kind of hard to tell what was going on in the Green Day and Oasis fights. Cause there was a lot of stuff on the panels, and it was really dark, and the scan quality was really shit, and it looked like somebody literally took the fucking book, the manga, and they took the pages, and you could see the page crease and the fold over a page, and the spine, and it was really bad and hard to tell what was going on because the scan quality was just not good. And so that was my first experience with the fight, because I read the manga forever ago, and it was just whatever. But there was things that I remember from it, like I remembered the helicopter sequence and the 7-page Muda. That's very hard to forget because it's straight up just 7 pages of Giorno punching the shit out of Cioccolata. And that's very hard to forget. So I remembered that. And then I ended up rereading after all the good scans came out. And I got to this fight, and it was just like, okay, a lot better than before. You know, things are very clear on what's going on. I can actually see and read. And so it was better. But the anime, man, the anime does justice to literally everything in Vento Aureo. There hasn't been a single bad episode. The only episode that was quote-unquote questionable would be the first episode of the Clash and Talking Head fight, which was right after Bucciolati got bodied by Diavolo. That fight, like that episode, was a little weird with the art. Not necessarily the animation. People get art and animation confused. The animation is the things in movement. The art is the drawing. So, like, right now, if you're looking at Secco's body, right, his art, since it's, like, zoomed out and stuff, isn't as detailed. So it might look a little wonky in comparison to something like this right here. Thank God with these timing, with the timing on these screenshots, man. It's really good. But, you know, the art right there looks really great. And even the art right here looks a lot better. In comparison. So the art in that one episode was kind of wonky, but everything since then has been like ridiculously good. And this like these last 2-3 episodes have been no exception to the rule of it's going to be really good and it's going to look good and sound great. But I do got to say, probably the thing that I like the most about Secco and Cioccolata is their voice actor choices. And somebody had tweeted their voice actors at me, so I'm going to check right now actually, because I asked about it. Because I wasn't sure who exactly they were, but the voices sounded familiar to me. And that's because of me playing games in Japanese since I'm a giant weeb. So I recognized some of the voices. I believe Secco's voice, or Cioccolata's voice, was Odin and Shin Megami Tensei 4 in the Japanese dub. Because I have played that game with Japanese audio. Shout out to having a modified 3DS. I love you guys at Nintendo, by the way. My 3DS is broken now, so who cares? But yeah, I like recognized his voice from there, and then Secco's voice is like a My Hero character. Oh, here we go. He also voices Apollo Justice from Ace Attorney, so you guys know I like Ace Attorney. Ace Attorney is mad sick, so Secco's got the same voice as Apollo Justice, which is why it was familiar to me. Their voices are both like extremely good for Secco and Cioccolata. I had this fight with the Garbo scans. I got really confused at the helicopter part. That's what I'm saying, Corner. It was really fucking bad. Like, it was so hard to tell what exactly was going on in the really old scans. Like, for any of the old heads, it's so weird to say that. But for any other people, even just a couple of years ago, because I haven't been into JoJo. Well, actually, I've been into JoJo for 4 years now. I can't even say it has been a long time. 4 years is more than enough. That's a lot of time. But even just 4 years ago, like, the scans were so bad still. You know, that says a lot on, like, how much the fan base has grown and, like, just evolved in terms of everybody putting out more content. Like, all the content creators making videos on JoJo. You know, me, Xforts, Medi, Caleb, Psychic Extremist while he was around, Ad Implore. You know, like, between all of us making videos on JoJo to the translators that have been putting out, you know, chapters every single week or not every week, but every month for JoJolion and stuff, like, we've grown a lot. And to think 4 years ago when I read Vento Aureo, the scans were garbage, and they didn't get better until about maybe 2 years ago. So, like, 2017, I think, is when the really good scans came out. And they were all finished, at least, because they had some good scans when I was reading. Like, I think the first 20 chapters were colored and really good quality. Secco sounds very close to his PS2 VA, but it's not the same person. If his PS2 VA is some guy by the name of Ken, with 2 N's, then yeah, it's the same. But I'm not sure, because I don't remember what his PS2 voice sounds like, to be completely honest with you guys. I'd be like that sometimes. What are we going to do? I'll pick this. The GOAT outro song. I usually always use this for outro music now, because it's good. I like it. Yeah, Nara, you got lucky, dude. You got lucky with your timing, because it was weird, though, because Part 6 was fully colored when I read Part 6. So I read Part 6 fully colored. It's just Part 5 scans weren't out. And, like, Part 7 was, like, also not fully colored, but it was, like, damn near over halfway done being colored when I was reading part 7. So I read half of part 7 colored, or a little over half, and then the last part I read in black and white. But even the scans for part 7 were always like really good, at least when I read it. The scans were like awesome. They looked great. But now we have good scans and the anime. We have like just full access to these fights looking super good. And these last 2 episodes, man, have been incredible. Like, again, Cioccolata and Secco's voice actors are great. I love this little tidbit right here with Secco picking up the phone after Cioccolata died. He received the voicemails, and you've got Cioccolata telling Secco that he indeed loves him and stuff like that. And I think it's kind of cool that they actually showcase this side of their relationship and kind of like develop it to give the characters a bit more of a fleshed out feeling, I guess is the word I would use. And Secco being like really pissed after he finds out exactly what's going on with everybody else wanting to get to the Coliseum. This was them teasing Polnareff for the first time, which was last week, which is great. Today we actually saw Polnareff, and he looks amazing. And oh my god, Polnareff. We're going to talk about Polnareff in a bit. I don't want to get too ahead of myself. I still want to talk about Cioccolata and Secco first. Or in particular, Cioccolata first. We'll talk about Cioccolata. So Cioccolata's crazy. His voice actor matches that craziness. By the way, thick-ass Secco right here. Very thick. I was considering putting this in the thumbnail, and then I just, like, forgot to last second, and I was actually looking at good screenshots with some quality stuff. Oh, I should have gotten a longer Breaking Free. This one is really short. What else can we put on? Actually, I think I have the extended version of Breaking Free. Yeah, I do have it extended. Okay, this is the one I meant to play. Played the normal version. Not the extended one. Oops. But Cioccolata is crazy. His voice actor has that sicko sound to him. Like, you know, because Cioccolata is indeed a very crazy person. No, we've just been streaming for like 10 minutes, Peps. What's up, by the way, dude? But yeah, we haven't been streaming too long yet. So you're good. Anybody that's like just now coming into the stream and stuff, we've only been streaming for like 10, 12 minutes. About to be right now. Yeah, 12 minutes. So I haven't been streaming too long. I'll probably stream for like a half hour or something, maybe 40 minutes. Because it's been a while. I plan on streaming some games sometime soon. I would tonight, but tonight I'm kind of going to be busy because I have stuff to do. Like later tonight, I actually have shit to do. Have to be a responsible person. I know. Crazy. That's part of being a grown-up, man. You have responsibilities and shit. But for now, my responsibility is to stream. And back to Cioccolata. That entire sequence of him hiding himself on the helicopter and literally bodying the shit out of Mista just from attacking Sex Pistols. Like, people forget that, or at least people seem to forget sometimes, that damaging a stand is also going to damage the shit out of the person. And he was, like, splitting fucking the Sex Pistols into, like, pieces and in half and shit. And it was literally one last one, I think it was, like, number 5. That was the one that wasn't, like, completely bodied. Like, if number 5 would have gotten just split right there, he would have just died. He straight up would have just died. Like, Mista was about to get body bagged, and Cioccolata didn't even attack him directly. He just attacked Sex Pistols. He didn't even touch Mista, and Mista was getting, you know, destroyed. Pretty much put out of commission for the fight. Like, there's the meme that always goes around where it's like, every single Guido Mista fight ever. Okay, time to shoot you with my stand and use my bullets and have my stand fucking body you with a bullet deflection. And then it's like enemy stand user, something that stops the bullets, and then Mista gets shot by his own bullets or something and dies. And that's pretty much every single fight. And I hate that that's true. But it's funny and also a cool thing because it means that, for the most part, except for this, where Mista just straight up got put out of commission, and he didn't even get to, you know, actually fight. I do love that Mista's always in scenarios where the enemy stand is stronger than him, and it's a direct counter to the way that he works with his gun and Sex Pistols, and he still wins. That's pretty cool. Except for Cioccolata. Cioccolata is the one case where Mista straight up just gets body bagged before he could even do anything. Because, like, I'm telling you, man, that shit's crazy to me. It's really ridiculous how effective and ruthless fucking Cioccolata really is. Because Cioccolata's a sicko. Like, when I say he's a sicko, I mean, like, an absolute deranged fucking maniac. Like, he is Ridiculous. And by the way, let me put my glasses on. What am I doing? I can't see shit. I was like looking at my screen wondering why I can't see things. I can see things, but they're not as clear. I want to sit back a bit more. There we go. All right, I got my glasses on now. And Cioccolata's a sicko, and he did all that work to Mista with literally like no effort. And then he splits himself in half when he's fighting Giorno, and he leaves like body parts of himself closer to Giorno so that they can still attack. And he uses like the mold and Green Day to kind of just keep them there. And he stitches himself back together, and I thought that was like pretty cool. Always, like I've always liked the fact that Cioccolata is very creative when it comes to using his stand. He understands it very well, and he knows that he can do some really broken shit. And he's a doctor also, so he understands a lot how the human body works and stuff like that. And he mentioned specifically, he's like, I can sit down and just destroy like all these bones and cut you up a bunch of times and cut through your veins and shit and still keep you alive and stop you from bleeding out to death. Like, he knows a lot of what's going on, so of course he's going to use that to his advantage when it comes to, you know, healing himself and stitching himself back up, which is what he does. But it's funny because you see him cut himself in half, like literally from the waist down. He's just cut, and you watch him gut himself, and you see his like spine stick out, because you can see his spine just like through his body since he's cut in half. And you just see half of his spine while he's like flopping on the fucking helicopter floor like a fish. It's so funny and weird. And it's actually pretty creepy too. Like, it's unsettling. Because you also hear him like jump and he fucking bonks his head on the top of the helicopter. So there's this loud ass like thwonk when he bonks his head. It's fucking funny. But it's so fucking, it's so cool. It's so cool and so weird and strange and bizarre, you might even say. Which is what I like about Cioccolata and Secco. Araki definitely was pushing himself with the theme of JoJo being bizarre and being like, how can I make these guys as weird as possible? And having fucking BDSM man and his pet be complete freaks while also having really cool stand abilities and doing cool shit. And the 7-page Muda. So I knew that it was a thing from like last week. Everybody posted it and stuff. I hadn't seen it in full. I only saw like the first part. Let me take a drink real quick. Remember to stay hydrated, fellas. Water's really good. But I had seen like the first 20 seconds of it. I didn't see like the full thing. It's like 40 seconds or something, like almost a minute. So I didn't hear the re. And the re is like the best part of that beatdown. I haven't seen too many people mention it. I've seen everybody freak shit over like just Giorno doing the 7-page Muda and it just being, you know, really ridiculous and him rapid punching so many times. And that's cool and all. But that re, dude, like, that shit gave me chills, man. It gave me chills all the way up my spine. I was sitting there listening to it, and I'm like, ooh, and he rees for so long. Like, he really just held that shit out, man. He held that shit out. It was great, though. Like, I loved it so much. And that was probably the best part of it, was the re. And the sound effects it made when he was punching during the re, it had the, like, machine gun pistol fucking punch sound effects, which are, like, the same sounds that they used when, Dio was punching the fuck out of Jotaro before, like, the last part when he sends him flying through the building and then they fight on the bridge. And then that's like the machine gun kicks is what I always call it in videos. And I've posted clips of it and talked about it a bunch over, like, the past 2 years. The machine gun kicks that Dio does, where it literally just plays the machine gun bullet sound effect with every hit. And then he does his Muda and his, like, big-ass re. It was the same thing, you know, but Giorno. And that's the first time Giorno rees also in Vento Aureo. He doesn't re before that. He just Mudas a bunch of times. But him hitting that one re in the middle of it is just really cool. I liked it a lot. And him also throwing Cioccolata into the fucking into the jump truck that burns all their trash after his body's just like completely fucked. It was just like the best thing ever. Which is also where Secco ends up. And Secco points out in the anime, he's like, oh my god, Cioccolata, but he's like choking and can't breathe because he's choking on his own fucking, on his own mud and cement. It's great. But I do love that he just straight up throws them in the trash where they belong. They both get to burn and trash together, and they're just straight up like super dead, dude. They're super dead. Cioccolata and fucking Secco got bodied. But the rest of the Secco fight is really cool because you get to see Secco really utilize his stand a lot. And his sense of hearing, which is great because Bucciolati eventually catches on to the fact that like Secco can hear him, and he's like, "Oh, it's like we're underwater, in the ground and stuff," because of Bruno using sticky fingers to go through zipper dimensions and stuff, and just like dip out and make his way out. It's really cool. And also the effects of them swimming underwater. Like I like that Bruno mentions that it's like he's swimming, or like it's like he can hear me underwater while he's being chased underground. And then they animated it as if they were actually like swimming through, and you see Secco moving ridiculously fast because Secco is very fast and very powerful. And Oasis is a really strong stand. I kind of overlook it sometimes, honestly, whenever I'm talking about strong stand abilities, because I'm usually talking about super broken stuff like Tusk Act 4 or GER, or things like, like literally any of the other super broken stand abilities like Purple Haze, fucking Star Platinum even, White Snake, Made in Heaven, Sea Moon. Like all of Poochie's stands are super strong and super broken. I usually don't, give Oasis enough credit, but it really is like a strong ass stand, especially when it comes to just hand-to-hand combat. Like I think I'm going to sit down one day and make like a top 5 strongest like hand-to-hand combat revolving stands, where it's like their main focus is short range close combat with high damage. And that'll be a fun video to make, because there's a lot of really good like short range high damage stands, or they're just power types that can hit very hard, that do different things also. So we'll probably talk about that eventually. But I do really like that about Secco. It's pretty cool. And I love that they animated it with them swimming. Like, that's so sick. So you've got them swimming underground for a bunch of times, getting chased. I'm about to sneeze hard as shit. It's allergy season. Come on, let's take it. Okay, my sneeze literally went away right before. I hate when that happens. That's the worst thing on the planet. I should have taken allergy medicine before starting this, but seasonal allergies, man, they're not fun. Yeah, Oasis is really broken. Nada. It's like it's a slept on stand ability when it comes to power. I'm not gonna lie. Like I'm really not gonna lie, dude. It is really broken. Cause yeah, he does have extremely crazy fast mobility, both in terms of just his speed and like his actual movement of being able to literally swim in the ground and turn things into fucking mud, and like just his movement is ridiculously fast. He's also just able to camouflage and stealth around really quickly. He does have the crowd control with him being able to bite the mud and spit it up in the air and having it harden back into like rough cement, and it falling like basically tiny spears, which is what he does to Bucciolati. And this would have worked had Bucciolati not already been a zombie, which is the thing that I like about this fight, is the aspect that Bucciolati's fighting Secco, and he's able to pull through because he can't really get affected by certain things because he's already dead. So he kind of just like notices that after a bit, he's like, it kind of hurts for a bit, but it's really not that bad. Like, I already can't feel shit. My heart doesn't work, so I'm just going to kill you anyways. And that was great. That's one of the aspects I like, but Oasis is very strong. Green Day is also very strong, and I think one of the highlights between both of the stands is the fact that their users are both very smart with how they use their stand ability. And it's funny, too, because Secco's weird and like not knowing things and like acknowledging that others are like smarter than him and stuff like that, and he's like, I'm not all that great. But when it comes to his combat, like this dude really does know what he's doing with his ability, and he was thinking a lot. He was thinking a couple steps ahead. He like fucking, there's that segment where Bucciolati's running away, and since he made that analogy of it being like him hearing him underwater, he breaks a couple pipes underground so that Secco would get to the pipes and track that and go off the sound of that, so that Bucciolati could just like get out and find an advantage. And Secco catches on to this, and he's like, dude, like really, you're trying to run away and trick me? And he just goes right back to searching for Bucciolati. He finds him very fast. That's great. Yeah, Secco is very thick. He's got cheeks, dude, like really big cheeks. Don't demonetize me, YouTube. I love you. His face cheeks are very thick. He's got chubby cheeks. He's got big dimples. Really nice smile. I actually do like Secco's smile with his big ass teeth and his like dumb grin. It's really great. Oh yeah, and in between the fight, we have Polnareff over here talking about how they have to get the arrow. He has to get the arrow to one of them at least. And he's like, oh, but if Bucciolati doesn't make it here, then what's the point? I gotta destroy the arrow if Bucciolati can't get here because I can't use the power of this thing because I'm already, like, fucked up. Polnareff is not really in great condition, as you can see. He's got both of the prosthetic legs. His eyes messed up. He's got the eye patch. He's got the big scar over his eye. Like, even though Polnareff is still very fit and very strong, like, you can see his pecs and his arms are still huge. And also, shout out to the Crusaders here. This always makes me sad. I hate seeing them all like this. I don't know why they just... I don't know why they do this. Like, I really don't. I really don't. Fuck them for showing this to Crusaders again. But no. Polnareff knows that he can't do anything, so he has to get the arrow no matter what, so one of these guys at least. But, you know, Bucciolati's the one that's in charge, so he's kind of just like, hey, I gotta get this Bucciolati, and if I don't, then we're kind of screwed. But he wants to make sure that nobody else gets it. He doesn't want the boss to get it, because he knows if the boss gets it, they're very screwed. And I kind of would have wanted to see a scenario where the boss would have gotten the arrow, given everybody would have just died, and it would have just been like, oh, the end. The bad guy wins. But he knows, man. He knows. Because Polnareff right now is the only one that's, like, aware of the arrow, because he's got to tell everybody else still about it. But they haven't even seen Polnareff yet. They don't even know who he is. I wish the Crusaders had a fight on the pyramids. That would have been sick. The one show that has a fight on the pyramids that I'll always remember is Fist of the North Star. You have Kenshiro versus Sao there. That fight is really sick, and that's on a pyramid. And it's a really cool fight, actually. Very cool. It's one of my favorite fights in the series, by the way. It is kind of a wasted opportunity, though, if they didn't have a fight on a pyramid, since they were, like, going to Egypt. They did have the one, like, big desert fight in the sand with Ndul, but there wasn't really, like, a pyramid fight, which would have been cool. It would have been sick. How about part 9, we go back to Egypt and there's a pyramid fight. There you go. The final fight is going to be on a pyramid, and then the main character is going to pick up the pyramid and throw it at the main villain, and the main villain is going to get squashed and die. And that's the end of JoJo Part 9. And this is why I don't rate manga, because I would probably pull some shit like that and be like, alright, that's it. That's the end of the story. Yeah, Polnareff's Part 5 anime design does look really good. Like, his design is just really cool, even though he is very damaged and fucked up and, like, not in good conditions for literally anything. Like, poor Polnareff, I feel so bad. You know, he really went through it. He got beat a lot, which is something that people overlook. So, Polnareff had to deal with Dio's shenanigans, dealt with Dio's shenanigans, almost killed Dio. Like, he was literally, like, a couple inches away from stabbing Dio through his brain and, you know, killing him. Which Dio even says it himself. He's like, damn, you were so close to actually getting me, but you didn't. And then Dio throws him and was about to hit him with a stop sign and shit. And you guys know the rest. But Polnareff dealt with Dio, and then he dealt with Diavolo with the arrows and survived and didn't die. Like, Polnareff has been through so much, not to mention all of his fights through Part 3 and, you know, the amount of work he put in back to back, especially, like, when he fought Vanilla Ice and he was so damaged. Like, he was super damaged. And then he was the first one to bump into Dio right after that. Like, he literally beats Vanilla Ice while Jotaro, Kakyoin, and Joseph are still in the Derby fight. And he bumps into Dio before anybody else. And he's by himself completely. In which Dio ends up just toying around with him before the guys show up. And then they all start chasing Dio. But, like, Polnareff dealt with a lot of shit, man. And it's impressive that he does, and I don't think people give him enough credit for that. And I've said it so many times, like, throughout so many different fucking videos and streams, and I will always talk about how great Polnareff is, because I genuinely think he's, like, in the top 5 best characters of all of JoJo, because he's just that dude. And he looks so great in the anime, and I'm so happy to finally see him, because, you know, we have 39 episodes, so we have 6 episodes left, counting next week's. Which means we have 6 weeks left of episodes, which is crazy. Will next week be Doppio doing the boy hand? Yeah. Next week's episode is just, like, straight up called Diavolo, I think, or, like, his name is Diavolo or something like that. Next week's episode is going to be sick, man. Like, I genuinely can't wait for next week's episode. Because the way that they were teasing Diavolo at the end with Doppio and Secco when Secco tries to take Doppio hostage was really crazy. And it was just like, it looked really nice. There's like that frame where they show Doppio with the green eyes. And it was sick, man. And he's also got that baseball cap with the D on it for Doppio. Really cool thing about the character design. Also very nice that it's just so conveniently happens to be that Doppio is right there. And this is the next episode is gonna have spoilers, where Doppio and Bruno and everybody else are gonna get into the Coliseum, and that's gonna be crazy, man. It's gonna be crazy. But yes, we are in the end game. We're only like literally 6 episodes away from finishing, so 6 more weeks, and then we're done. And then we go to part 6, and I'm literally never going to shut up about part 6. Like the part 6 streams, those are gonna be fun. Hopefully around then I can like get a camera. I gotta get a camera. Cause I just bought so much stuff the other day. I mean like yesterday and the day before. I just bought a bunch of stuff. But I didn't get any like new equipment or anything like that. I was getting other stuff. But I gotta get a camera soon. We can do like face cam streams and stuff. Which also means I gotta change my room setup and stuff. But that's a long time in the future. But I am interested in doing something like that. Or at least trying to get something like that done by the time part 6 comes out. Cause like, y'all are gonna see my facial expressions, man. I get so passionate when it comes to part 6, and all the stuff in part 6. I love it. It's great. The sun is gonna start rolling indeed. We're gonna go Oh man, I can't wait. Because we haven't seen Diavolo yet in the anime, like, Diavolo. You haven't actually seen his face. So when Doppio does, like, the shirt lift thing, where he lifts his shirt off, and then he switches to Diavolo, which is his intro in the games, or usually his intro in the games. I love that. It always looked so cool, and, like, seeing it in a manga, he literally, like, lifts his shirt, and then he transforms into Diavolo, like, slowly. It's gonna look so cool. I can't wait for it, man. And we might end up seeing, like, Diavolo next week. Towards the end of the episode, we might actually see his face. Because these next couple episodes are going to take a bit. We still got some time. Like, a lot of shenanigans are going to happen in the Coliseum, man. 6 more episodes. 6 more episodes, and we still have so much to do. Which is the great part about it, though. Is, like, there's still so much substance on what's to come. That even though it's, like, almost done, it still feels like there's so much more that has to happen before it actually finishes. And that's because that's exactly how it is. We've still got more shit to experience and deal with. But yeah, what did you guys think about these episodes? I thought these episodes were, like, ridiculously good. And today's in particular, man, with Secco fucking holding Doppio, like, that just looked really good. The way Doppio was just kind of standing there like, okay. And his, like, shift in eye color was just so nice. It was so nice. It was such a good frame to end the episode on, too, with just Doppio sitting there, or not sitting there, but like standing there in front of Bucciolati, because Bucciolati's body started withering away. It's finally catching up to him. He's finally giving out, dying for real this time. Who gave today's episode a mixed reaction? Probably just Polnareff haters. Like people that don't like Polnareff at all, or think Polnareff is whack. Or probably people that just think the endgame of Vento Aureo is whack, in which people just don't like the stuff that happens with the arrow and shit like that. I kind of get the sentiment, but I also don't. Because I just think this is, like, the part where it gets really cool and really interesting, because they did something new with stands. You know? They did something new. And it having, like, just a new concept get introduced. And it's a unique concept, too, because it's only used in Vento Aureo. With the Requiems. That's a Vento Aureo thing, you know, we don't have Requiems in any of the other parts. So, like, I do appreciate that it gets this new thing, this new idea introduced in it, from a returning character nonetheless. That's what makes it better. Like, Polnareff has experience with this stuff. He's a grown man, now he's 36. He's no longer, you know, a young adult. It's been 12 years since Stardust Crusaders, so he was 24 in that. Now he's 36, he's a grown man. I also know some people don't like what happens to Polnareff. And, like, I get that. But, like, it's a better fate than other characters in the series. and like a lot of the shit that other people had to go through. So I still like it. I don't know. I don't think it's that bad. I think some people are just like really harsh or really picky. But that's just how it is. You know, people are always gonna like different stuff. Can't control that at all. That's just how it be. Yeah, I love Polnareff in Part 5 too. Nada. I think it's like, I think he's one of the highlights of the whole thing. You know, like Part 5 has really good fights. It has really likable characters in the main cast. The villains are really weird and like different. Like all the villains do very different things with their stand abilities, even though they're all in one group. That's really cool. And I like that. And Polnareff is just like icing on the cake, man. He is the frosting. He is the cherry on top of the cupcake. He is the Secco's ass cheeks of the group. What does that mean? I have absolutely no idea, but he really is thick as shit, man. Look at him. Like, it's ridiculous. Is Secco wearing anything underneath his Oasis? I can't answer that question because I'm honestly not sure. Yeah, it is a sad ending. It's really cool, but like it's also very tragic. And not even just like the ending, but like throughout all of the part. It's very hype and it's very emotional, you know? Which I think most of JoJo gets pretty emotional at times. The Part 5 anime, though, like, we've gone over this. But the Abachio death literally made me cry. In which, before, like, reading the manga was just like, oh, damn, he's dead. Like, that's messed up. Rereading the manga, again, after getting more of an attachment to Abachio, was like, oh, damn, he's dead. And then, like, seeing it again after that is, like in the anime is ridiculous. Also, give me 1 second. I've got to deal with something real quick. All right, we're good. Sorry, fellas. So my mom is kind of like not home right now. And by not home, I mean my grandmother's really sick because she's really old. She's like almost 90. And so my mother had to fly out to Florida to go see my grandmother, and so she was there. And she's coming back today, so she just called me, because you know she's going to the airport later and stuff. So I had to answer. But we're good now. What was I saying before that though? We were talking about like the episode, or just the end part, the end game of Part 5. Like I know this one other YouTuber that I watch. He's pretty chill. He does like Dragon Ball videos and like Dokkan videos and stuff like that, which is what I go to him to watch him for. The Truth. I know he didn't like the end game sequence of Vento Aureo, even though he thought Vento Aureo was really good because he went and read the manga. Like he caught up to like last week's episode, I think, and then read the manga to whatchamacallit, to like, you know, finish Vento Aureo and see what was going on at the ending because he got interested in it. And I know he personally doesn't like the ending all that much, but I think the ending is fine. Which, get ready for discourse with Part 6 with literally everything. Somebody pointed it out in a comment on my Stone Ocean video, but they were like, you know, he was like pointing out the elephant in the room or something, but it's a predominantly female cast, and then the main villain is a gay black man, and that's why people don't like it. And I thought about it, and I was like, you know, you're right. That's pretty fucked up. That's just how it is sometimes. Some people just don't like the combination of those things together. But Part 6 is gonna be really fun. I can't wait so much. Like I hope that they announce it very soon. And that it comes out quick. But I don't want it to be like bad at all. I want it to have the same quality of Vento Aureo. If anything, look better. But I wanted to have this same kind of treatment and love to it that Vento Aureo has, because Vento Aureo has a lot of love put into it. Just notice the colors that they use for Bruno are from the opening. I didn't even think about that. That's pretty cool. But I hope that they put in a lot of love into the Part 6 anime. That's what I'm wanting for it. Yeah, I thought the episode was great. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the last episode too with the 7-page Muda. That was awesome. That was nuts. That was actually nuts. Like, it was so good. I couldn't ask for any more other than this next section to be really good. Spoilers again for anime onlys. Chariot Requiem is coming up, guys. Oh my god. I didn't want to mention it, but I can't wait because Polnareff looks so great. I can't wait to see Chariot Requiem. It's going to look so awesome. It's seriously just going to be so sick, man. It's going to be so sick. But thank you guys for sticking around. This episode was just awesome. It was really good. I enjoyed it. Sorry for being a bit dead on YouTube. We'll be working on doing stuff soon. I'll be streaming more again. And we'll just have a good time, you know? We're still getting close to 10,000 subscribers, which is still, like, the thing that I am hoping to achieve really soon. I actually lost count of where we're at right now. So I'm going to check. Because we're almost there. And when we get there, I don't know what I'm going to do for 10K subs yet. I don't know. If you guys have any ideas of what you would want me to do for 10K subs, then, you know, always free to shoot me whatever ideas you guys have. Like, I say it all the time, you know. If anybody ever wants me to, like, do a specific thing, just, like, let me know. Because I'm always down to, you know, do stuff. We're at 9.7K. We're getting close to 9.8K. So, we're almost there, guys. We're almost there. But yeah, thank you guys so much for sticking around for the stream. Like, I appreciate it. I'm going to go take a painkiller because my jaw hurts a lot. Shout out to getting your wisdom teeth taken out. It's it's a fun process. If you have to get them taken out, just go and get them taken out and get it done with ASAP. Don't wait about it. Don't think about it. They will numb your mouth completely to where you don't feel anything. It took me 5 minutes to get my teeth pulled out, and I was out, which was good. And I recovered pretty decently in terms of, like, being able to eat again, like, really fast. But I couldn't talk still much, and, you know, here we are now, 2 weeks later, and I'm still having a bit of a hard time and struggling because that's just how these things are. But yeah, thank you guys so much for coming out to the stream. I appreciate you guys, and I don't know when we'll stream again. We might play some games tomorrow night or something. We'll figure it out. But yeah, you can follow me on Twitter at FreyKugel. Link is in the description below. Like always, you can join the Discord if you want to talk to me there. I know I always mention making the Discord more active and then there being a bit of a dry spell and then it being active again. We'll figure that out. But yeah, thank you guys for the support. Thank you guys for coming out to the stream. And I'll see you guys next time. And remember, Secco is very thick, like incredibly thick. Like seriously, Bucciolati probably heard him chasing after him because of the clap of his ass because it's so big and so thick, and that's ridiculous, man. But yeah, I'll see you guys next time.